Welcome to As Above,
So Below.
I'm Kisha Lee.
And I'm Cidnee Rich, and this is Cosmic Chat and Chill.
Yeah.
Okay, what is our topic for the day? Oh, it's my turn. Oh. Let me open my eyes.
Third eye wasn't working right then.
Okay, I'm so nervous. This is like ridiculous. My heart is like dying.
We have a heart circuit moment.
Oh, yeah, okay, there's two came out. Okay, what is it, y'all?
Dreams.
Oh.
Wow, okay. This is so interesting. I'm gonna start. Please do. So, okay. Now, we're recording this before you guys are gonna see this, so it's not happening in real time, but Jupiter is moving into Cancer. And it's in Cancer now. Cancer is my 12th house. So 12th house is ruled originally by Pisces. So they're still sharing that watery energy. And if you guys remember our Claire episode, we talked about the third eye being connected to your dreams. So my dreams have been like on one. And I'm like, what's happening? Now I'm realizing Jupiter has expanded that kind of subconscious space of mine. And it's been so weird. And I advocate for dream journaling and all that all the time. Because for me, dreams have always shown up, but it's always been subtle. And like going back to what I think I had kind of like blocked my clairvoyance in a sense by letting spirit know like, but dreams, I can deal with dreams. But I think now that part of my gifts is like getting amplified because it's natural for me to have this kind of dream kind of connection to other realms. And my sister, she's a pranic healer. And she told me a while ago, she was like, you're a dream walker. And I was like, what? What does that mean? She's like, when you go to sleep, you go to work. And I'm like, okay. So like, I've always been very activated in my dreams. They've just been very, my whole life I've dreamt. Yeah.
You're a dreamer. You are dreamy. But it's very interesting that you say that, because at first when you pull dreams, I'm like, what the fuck am I going to talk about? Okay. But recently I have been having some dreams out the you-know-what.
Yeah.
And it's like, I will wake up because I'm like, okay, that was interesting. Go back to sleep and just have whole nother dream. I mean, I've had everything from like pink hippos chasing me to, I don't know.
Hippos are one of the most dangerous creatures on the planet.
I know, they're so cute. I love them. It's my favorite animal, actually.
Maybe you're a pink hippo.
I'm a pink hippo. Cute, but also dangerous, okay?
Yes.
All right, so thank you.
Dream analysis, check.
Right. But what's very interesting about dreams too is like I normally don't have them, but when I do, a lot of times they have been like premonitions. I do remember at one point in life where I was separating from my son's father and just very distraught. Like, am I doing the right thing? Am I not? Am I going to hell? Am I raising my son in a broken home? Clearly he's fine. But I just remember in a dream seeing like his father and I in court and the judge ruling my favor, and just so it really just helped me to play things out because we were in a custody battle type thing. And it really helped me when that moment came. It was almost like deja vu. And I was like, oh, this moment I recall from my dream, and now I know how to like just chill.
Yeah.
Don't try to prove yourself. Don't fight it. And of course, everything worked in my favor, and we were able to co-parent well from that. But it's very interesting to analyze your dreams, which is why it's so important to keep a dream journal. Because sometimes they might not make sense, but in the astral realm where your soul goes, while you're sleeping, you're astral traveling, other things can happen that I've found very interesting. For instance, waking up with like bruises or scratches and things like that. I'm like, who am I brawling with in the dream realm? But it's apparently that is like a thing. And I know that, but it's just so interesting how the soul literally is a limitless being that can access different levels of consciousness and different dimensions, different realms of existence.
Yes.
Like, it's just like...
It's amazing.
Cidnee moment.
And it's because also, too, that we've been, like, because time is, like, all happening all at once, I recall now as, like, as an adult, as a kid, I was, like, forever and always dreaming. And I had a reoccurring dream of an alien abduction when I was a kid. And as I've gotten older and like learned more about spirituality and learned more about different realms and that dream state, it's like it helped me. And I've done like past life regression, hypnotherapy sessions, and it's like, oh, like as a kid, that barrier is like less strict or strong. And so it was like, I feel like it was showing me like, yeah, you have been or connected to these other realms, these other worlds. And then as kids, you just think like, oh, you're just imagining. But as an adult now, I'm realizing like, oh, like I think maybe I was just having an alien visitation in my dreams. But I was terrified as a kid of my alien dreams. Like I had to sleep with my parents. And I was like a smooth 9-10 years old. And it was a reoccurring dream. But now it's like giving me this insight of like, oh, maybe it was just like a message of like support. And like, hey, you have this other kind of like realm that like you're familiar with, or maybe that you're from, that like gives you the understanding and knowledge that you have and that you're using this go around.
Yeah, it's almost like lucid dreaming, but also astral projection of your soul, which actually when you're dreaming, what a lot of people don't realize is that while you're in the sleep state, you actually have a cord, right, that comes from your solar plexus and is attached to your astral body that is actually going out there and getting this information in the different ethers. And so sometimes what happens is, I know for me, I will wake up from a dream. I've had one that was very disturbing, I think I told you about at one point recently. And I was like, you wake up and you feel very disturbed because sometimes it's so emotional. And what I've noticed, what helps me is when I wake up in that state of like disarray, is to one, ground myself, take a few deep breaths, ground myself, connect my root chakra to the center of the earth, and then also send out, you can do a star, you could do a gold sun, whatever it is, and energetically magnetize and call back all of your energy from that astral realm and just allow that to pour into your crown chakra and fill your body from head to toe. And that helps you when you have woken up from a dream and want to make sure you're back in your physical body, right? So you can go about your day without feeling like wonky.
Right.
But also another tip that you can do is if you are actually trying to consciously access information before you go to sleep, is the one, prepare yourself, right? Have a dream journal, pen, everything like that. And don't try to write down everything if you wake up from a dream, but maybe just like bullet points and stuff so that you can piece those things together, because your soul will remember when you start looking at those little items. And also, I always tell people, make sure you're hydrated, right, before you go to sleep, because hydration, your body is 70% water, and water is a highly programmable energy. And so what happens is, as you're having this dream,
the dreams.
Exactly. It's part of that lucid part, right? So as you're doing that, when your body is also hydrated before you go to sleep and you're doing something like dream work intentionally, it'll help you to remember on a soul level, right? Because your body holding that amount of water, the experience that you have creates an electrical imprint, right, within your body system, and it helps you to actually remember your dreams even better.
Wow, that makes
right?
sense.
So it's very cool to use that, and you can also make sure you ground yourself to release your day if you're trying to access dreams for specific information, and then call in your higher self or your most creative essence to bring that in, and maybe even ask some guides or angels, you know, ancestors to be with you to provide you that information. And a lot of times I find that it is actually very significant and very successful. So those are some tips.
I love that tip, because to your point about being hydrated, if you're like having a party night, you don't remember your dreams because you're dehydrated.
Right.
there's no water to program what happened while you were sleeping.
Exactly.
That's
and
so interesting.
If you're having a little party night, you done got turned up, you just black out and pass out. The thing is that if you do have dreams or something, they may seem like dreams, but they may not be, because a lot of times those type of drugs, alcohol, and so forth create a transmedium energy.
Right.
And so sometimes other entities or spirits, not to, I'm not a fear monger or anything like that. Right. But what happens,
in control at all times.
But what happens is that drugs, alcohol, things like that create an out-of-body experience.
Yes.
And when you're not occupying your own body, then sometimes, other energies, whether it's the people around you, people that are attached to you energetically, or, within your auric space, any kind of psychic debris can actually come in and create an experience that feels like a dream, but really it's more of an energetic swap, energetic exchange. And so you just want to do those things very consciously. I'm not going to pretend like I have never been turned up and went to sleep without doing all this stuff, okay? I'm just letting you know that if you do that and you wake up and you feel a little discombobulated, at least ground yourself, ground back into your body, call your energy back to you so that you have agency in the rest of your day and just in your life period, because you always have free will. But dreams is very interesting for our topic today, because
it's cool too that you brought up the substances and the fact that I started talking about my 12th house being in Cancer, because the 12th house is also the house that rules substances, because it's the house of escapism. So that is also why you have that kind of conversation going on between dreams and that idea of escapism, because when you daydream, you're escaping into a realm of what could be, which is really helpful to help us manifest and create the life that we want to live. But sometimes we can use substances to escape from the reality that we're in, which disconnects our ability to actually formulate and have what we want, right? Like that daydream, to have that daydream, that
disembodied.
It can make that split, and it can be very scary. It can be a nightmare, right? That dream can become a nightmare really quickly.
That's good. I see how you did that.
Dreams are fun, and they're also super interesting, because I love that you talked about grounding your energy, because I have, like I said, I dream all the time. And I have scary dreams too. And they're not mine. It's I don't know who I'm visiting or what work I'm doing. So I'm definitely taking that tip of grounding my energy when I wake up. But the other thing that I want to share as a tip is, when you are doing dream journaling, and Kisha was talking about doing the bullet points, my main thing is what feeling do you have when you wake up?
Yeah.
And that is a very good indicator of why you had that dream. And one for me recently, when I was going through this super transformative time period, I remember why am I having what am I releasing, what am I processing, what's going on? And I remember I had this dream, and it was my oldest friend was in it, and some random stuff was happening, and another friend of mine was really close, and something happened in the dream where they didn't follow through or whatever. When I woke up, I was I've been betrayed. And I was
those are fun. Dreams when you're mad.
Right, but I was oh, betrayal is this energy or this block or this lesson that I've been needing my soul to learn. Is that the reason why you've had such difficulty in this time period is because you felt betrayed by people that you thought you could trust. And so they use that kind of archetype of my friends that I know would never in my dream to relay that information to me, so I could see that clear emotion of betrayal.
Yeah.
So it's really your emotion around a dream, I think, is really helpful in understanding that analysis of why.
You know what's also interesting is dreams about death, because a lot of people don't think that it's they think it's a physical death, but really it's just the ending of something. And what came to me as you were talking is, I wonder how tarot archetypes and dreams go together. You're talking about your friend standing in to show you something, and I'm that's very interesting correlation.
Dude, love that you brought that up. Okay, I told y'all my dreams have been popping. I had a dream recently that when I woke up, I immediately was like, the Tower card. Like, immediately, I was like, that dream was the Tower. Because in the dream, the tower literally fell. And so, like, it was crazy, too, because it was like, it wasn't a disastrous, it wasn't, like, once again, going back to how I felt. I didn't feel, oh my God, this is terrible. Like, when people get the Tower in tarot a lot, they get so scared. It's like, and I'm like, no, now, like, that was like, Cidnee, change is happening. Change is happening, and change can be beautiful, and change can be sudden. It doesn't have to be like so chaotic and intense and like heart-wrenching. And that was not the emotion I had. I had this tower falling, but so I knew change was here because in tarot, the Tower is all about things shifting, changing, because the foundation that you've been standing on isn't sturdy. Right? It's trying to realign you. So that dream, it was a beautiful tower in a beautiful setting falling and didn't hurt anybody and there was no destruction. So I was like, okay, change is coming. So I think tarot that's so cool that you brought that up. Imagery in your dreams could definitely connect to tarot. You know, like you could definitely see some tarot related kind of symbols in your dreams and connect that to the energy of what that card means.
Well, let me know if you find a tarot deck with a pink hippo.
I sure will. And you can also use tarot, the Hierophant's on the top here, but you can also use tarot to dream. So to your point about like setting an intention and before you dream, you can also pull a card and you can choose a card. So if you're wanting more commitment, if you're wanting to understand, you know, where you what messages you need to know, or where you're being guided, or to get some guidance. The Hierophant would be is a spiritual guide. You could literally take the Hierophant, put it under your pillow, and go to sleep. And I do that a lot. I use tarot to help my kind of dream navigation.
So cool.
Yeah.
Oh, look at that. Learned something new today.
Oh, we love to do that. Yes. Well, tell us what you guys are dreaming about out there in the ethers and in the other realms and on earth, and any prophetic dreams or cool dreams that stood out to you, or something that you just remember, like, wow, we'd love to hear your stories in the comments. So connect with us.
Peace and love.